Hi, thanks so much for tuning in. You might have noticed this week that our verbs say, speak, talk, and tell are all a bit close in meaning. And I did that intentionally because I had a student once ask, what's the difference? When do I use this one versus another one? And I thought that was a great question that could benefit many students. So this special video is all thanks to my former student, Sonia. So let's discuss. We're going to start by looking at the words say and tell because they are synonyms, meaning they have similar meanings. The thing to note, though, is that when we use the verb tell in the active voice, we really need to have a person following the verb. So we need someone to receive the action of telling. So when I say a person needs to follow it, it could be a name, it could be an object pronoun, it could be a general description, a general word like students or citizens. Any of those would be fine. But again, it's really important that we know who's receiving the action when we use the verb tell. So we can use say or tell to mean just about the same thing. But the wording in a sentence is going to change just a little bit. I thought it would be helpful to have a few examples of what I mean. So imagine somebody says, where are they going? And someone else responds, he didn't say. Right? A person could respond to that same question by saying, he didn't tell me. Here's another example. Someone could ask the question, what did she say? Or the person could say, what did she tell you? They're going to be about the same in meaning. A couple more examples. Did they say how it happened? Did they tell you how it happened? I said that their new house is nice. I told them that their new house is nice. All of those have just about the exact same meaning. Next, let's look at speak and talk, because these two verbs are also synonyms. And most of the time, you can use these interchangeably. So you won't have to change the wording in your sentence like we did with say and tell before. Your meaning won't be all that different. But there are a few ways that native English speakers might use these words that are slightly different. So the first thing to note here is that speak tends to be a bit more formal. And we might also use it to refer to more general topics than when we say talk. Generally, when you use talk, it's pretty common to hear it followed with the preposition about. Right? So, and that might feel really comfortable with you to talk about something. Here are some examples of what I mean about speak being more general. So someone might ask the question, can I speak with you? We don't know exactly what the topic of the conversation will be. But again, a native speaker might tend to use something along the lines of, can I talk with you about, and then I have a silly example here of modals. Most people are not going to ask you to talk about English grammar. Another example, did you speak to the teacher? Did you talk with the teacher about the homework? Those are just a couple small differences about these two words. Something else to note is it's very common to see prepositions to, with, and about, with, talk, and speak. I didn't include to, with, and about when I talked about phrasal verbs with either talk or speak, because these prepositions don't really change the meaning of the verb. It still goes back to that main definition meanings that we mentioned before. So my notes here say that you can talk to someone. You can also speak to someone. It really wouldn't make a difference if you use one or the other. You can talk with someone. You can also speak with someone. Again, not much of a difference. You can speak about something. You can also talk about something or someone. One thing to note that is a little bit different, and I'm going to encourage you to only use speak when you're talking about languages. So if you're asking questions to someone about what languages they speak, or if you're sharing your languages, use speak, not talk. You may hear people occasionally use talk, but speak is more common and I think more accepted. I thought it might be helpful to show you some different examples of how these words say, speak, talk, and tell get used with a real example. So as you can see on the screen here, I've got a picture of Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's someone you probably have seen on television in the last few months. I have seen him do many interviews. He works for a government agency, the National Institutes of Health, and he's helping educate and lead our country through the pandemic. And he was on CNN recently giving advice and specifically talking about wearing masks. And I have a little bubble there indicating these are the exact words that he spoke while on TV. He said, "It's sort of respect for another person, and have that other person respect you. You wear a mask, they wear a mask, you protect each other." So if I wanted to tell a friend about what I saw and what I heard Dr. Anthony Fauci say, I could do it many different ways. So I'm going to show you a few examples, but I want you to know there are many, many ways that we could describe this. So I could tell my friend that Dr. Fauci said that wearing a mask is a sign of respect for others, right? So I'm summarizing. That is not, I didn't use quotation marks, so I didn't use his exact words, but trying to get the general idea of what he shared. I could say, Dr. Fauci spoke to CNN. I don't have the exact reporter, but if I did, we could include that reporter's name. Could also say, Dr. Fauci talked to CNN about how wearing a mask is a respectful act. Again, same idea. I'm using talk and saying who, to whom Dr. Fauci spoke. There. Another way to say it. Dr. Fauci told CNN viewers to show respect for others by wearing masks. So again, you can see here, I've got that group following this verb tell. Finally, you might see sometimes these verbs combined together in a single sentence. And I wanted to give you an example of that. Dr. Fauci spoke to CNN and said that wearing a mask is a sign of respect for others. So as you can see, there are lots of different ways to use say, speak, talk, and tell. And I hope this video will help you as you use these words in your conversation and in your writing. Have a great day.